Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys liked the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward.
What's up, guys? Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so today let's go ahead and review Bitcoin. I really just want to talk about what to look for in terms of overall bottoms and how are bottoms formed and what are we looking for. So right now we're obviously seeing this is BTC USD on the daily. Um, what I'm really looking for at this point is that a big liquidation candle. Um, and Generally speaking, we see this initially on the first big wick down, and you can see this across many different examples. I'll just like mark a few where we see these big down liquidation candles. We all know them. You know, their Bitcoin moves like 20% down or some crazy huge amount. And I also want to clarify that these bottoms up here, this is more of a distribution type of pattern at the top of March to April to May, where price just kind of hangs around for a while and then dumps. Whereas true bottoms, in my opinion, are more formed over long periods of time, and you see lots of choppy price action. So, for instance, um, like this time period from the summer bottom, this took place over 2 months, from the end of May all the way to end of July. And the characteristics of this price action that we saw for the bottom was we saw this big liquidation candle, right? And then you see some sort of lower high and price coming back down to that level again multiple times. To me, uh, the key to looking for a bottom is some sort of like one final shakeout before maybe like another grind down and then recovery. So what do I mean by that? I mean that we saw this big candle here on June 22nd, where there was a lot of liquidations. You can see like the overall sell volume pretty high at this point, like the highest since that big shakeout in May from 60 to 30. And this to me was like the last kind of exhaustion. Like, this is the bottom where everybody just finally gets liquidated and then that's it. What do we see after that? We see price make another lower high and then grind back down to those levels again. And at this point, I was really shitting myself because I was like, oh my God, this is like, this looks just terrible. Like, buyers look just totally gone. But what we saw was this God candle right here. And this was like a, what, 10% move or something like that. And then we saw some follow-up volume. And this, in fact, was the absolute bottom of this consolidation move. So what are we seeing right now compared to this current price action is we see this obviously this big liquidation candle from 60 to 30 or 60 to 40K. Obviously big high sell volume. Now I am looking for the next follow-up. Like we saw some moves down to this level, like this recent move on January 10th. This was like a short-term bottom. But I really want to see something similar to what we saw back in the end of June, where we saw this kind of big wick down, and this was like a 20% candle down from 35 to 28. So to me, this would be like pretty nice to see something like, uh, you know, something like 37K or something like that. What I'm really looking for is like some sort of big wick down. I don't know where it's going to be. Price always goes lower than we think. So although I am hoping for 37K to be the bottom, I also am cognizant of the fact that price usually moves stronger than we think in almost every circumstance. And if we see something similar to what we saw back in June, where we see this like kind of big move down and then like another move down followed by quick buying up. Um, that's kind of what I'm really looking for at that point. So, we saw this kind of price action that looked decent on January 10th, but again, this isn't really a hallmark of like a big kind of liquidation event, um, similar to what we saw back in June. So again, what I really want is one final shakeout. I don't know where this wick will be. I don't know how far it's going to be. Um, again, price always moves farther than we think it does. If you look at volume profile, there is like a fat kind of stack around like the 35K area. So what areas am I looking for this wick? I am looking for 37K. And I want to clarify too that this current area certainly can hold. Like this could be the bottom right here. Certainly possible. Before, if you remember some of my other videos, I always said that I didn't want this current area to get lost because it would make a lower low. But I do want a shakeout overall, because this will spell the end of the overall Bitcoin kind of consolidation period, in my opinion, or like getting close to the end. Similar to what we saw back in late June, where we saw this like big nuke down, followed by a quick buy. So what I want to see is a big wick down, followed by strong buying, and then we can revisit that area again. That's certainly possible, similar to what we saw back in July. So what we see is, big, so starting from the very start, big liquidation candle, grind up, come back down, big liquidation candle again, similar to June, lower high, and then if we grind back down, revisit those levels, similar to what we saw back in July, and then we just recover. So again, big liquidation candle here, similar to what we saw in May. We already did that in December. Lower high created, which is what we did already back all throughout kind of late December, mid late December. Now I'm really looking for this next liquidation candle. I don't know where it's going to be. I don't know how far it's going to go, but this is what I really am eyeing for the next bit. Again, it's certainly possible that this continues to hold this current support level, but I really want to see this big last candle. I don't know again where it's going to be, 37K, 35K. I don't know where it's going to be, but once we do that, then maybe some sort of lower high, come back down here, and then we go back up. This is what I would like to see. Again, I don't know where it's going to bottom, and this could be the bottom now. I don't know where it's going to bottom. And when I see price action like this overall, it really makes me think that we are actually going to go more into a overall ranging environment where 2021 is really just it's a large trading range between 30K and 70K. This is like the trading range. This is an idea I had a little bit ago too. Like maybe this is just the range that we see for the entire year. And if this is the case, then we set ourselves up for a very explosive move later on down the line. If you remember 2020 was really spent in very tight consolidation ranges, not much moving overall. This one I expect this to be a little bit larger of a range. Certainly possible where we come back down. I don't know where it's going to be. Make our way back up and then come back down. And it's something similar to this. And there are going to be opportunities for altcoins, in my opinion, if this is the case. I strongly feel that Bitcoin dominance won't return to the levels that it previously was in 2018 for a lot of reasons, but the primary one just being that the market has matured, the tech is better, the overall environment is better. Like DEXs are a big thing. You don't need to just trade through sexes. You also have many other alt USDT pairs instead of just alt BTC pairs like there were back in 2018, 2019. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons. But yeah, I think that this is certainly a possibility that we see for 2022. But again, how are the bottoms formed? I'm looking for this big wick down. I don't know where it's going to be. Could be here. Could be 37. Could be 35. Could get really ugly, to 30. I don't know. I don't think it's going to go to that point. I would be very surprised personally. 37K was my area before that I was viewing, but I've already accepted the fact that it is possible that it goes to like 30K. It's I don't think it will, but you never say never in this market. That to me would be very surprising if we did go to 30K. But again, it's certainly done this before in the past. Like goes to 30K, 26% down candle. Um, if you look at some of these other kind of big moves down uh, in the past, then you'll see that like these 20% candles are here. Like, but again, we'll play it level to level. I think right now the best play is to just go ahead and be cautious. Don't over leverage yourself. I do believe that some altcoins and bullish market structures are still worth trading, even in these environments. For instance, Near is one, Phantom is another. There's several other altcoins that are interesting to me. But overall, that's kind of my overall idea for Bitcoin. I am waiting for this big wick. I am cautious on this. I don't know if this is the bottom yet, but I am looking for this nice wick down. I don't know where it's going to go or how far it's going to go, but that is my overall plan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the support.